So if we do like, I don't know, like 15 minutes of both, then we'll get, yeah, it's probably like a chapter or two.
That's
15, 20 minutes.
that is not very long, but okay.
Or, I mean, yeah, probably, I have work at 5,
You have
so I will
work
have
at.
to get out of here by like, sorry, MST.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've got like, yeah, like 2 hours, so,
Well, I wouldn't expect
but
to
I
really.
don't
We
know,
don't normally go past 2 hours anyways, so 2 hours is usually like the
okay,
most.
nice.
It usually ends up being like between 1 and 2 hours.
Yeah, because so if we've got time, I would mind having mine read too a little bit, if anybody wants to read that. Um, and is there anybody else that wants theirs read that's currently lurking in chat?
I have one that I haven't upload that I haven't published yet.
Okay, is that the fantasy one?
Uh, yes,
Nice.
I can
I
drop
mean,
the draft in the link.
cool. Okay.
Okay.
Oh no. Sorry, banana. Sounds rough. Forgetting to write. Nice. Here, my ramen will stay warm. Okay, I'll read Pedal Rhymes the Metal. Pull it up really quick. I can spell rhymes correctly.
Bye, Shiro.
Got it. Okay. Bye. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. I'll read. Someone in chat said that it was like 2,000 words for the first 2 chapters. That sounds good. Start right, and then we'll see where we're at. Cool. Okay. Let me get some water first.
Here's ramen, not good enough water for you.
Oh no, this stuff is spicy.
Oh.
It will not help me. It will not help me read. Yeah.
You want to
Okay.
stream it so we
Oh
can
yes.
follow?
Derp.
Thanks.
Okay. Summary. After a rumor about Vedal had surfaced that included him throwing dog poop at his classmates during his elementary days, this caused him to be labeled as the weird kid at his school. Now his parents, in a last-ditch attempt to save his remaining dignity, decided to send him overseas to Japan, where he wouldn't have to bear the weight of this shame and study there as a transfer student for his first year of high school all the way to university. However, this decision would soon fall into mistake territory, since instead of being shamed for the poop incident, Vedal would come into contact with a pair of eccentric twins, who were also his juniors, and somehow always finds a way to mispronounce his name at every chance they get, starting from the first year all the way to the present as he enters his second year of high school. Now wanting to achieve more, he has his sights set on the formation of a club of his own.
So it's a school AU.
We have a second. Oh, it's a chapter summary. Okay. After an extremely egregious first year where he finds himself bumping into a peculiar pair of juniors that mocked him relentlessly, Vettel wanted to make it to his second year as a somewhat better experience for himself. Cool, okay. The sound of rushing water is heard as pink petals flutter from the cherry blossom trees beautifully into the water. A couple of students sat by this river with a small circle of friends, talking and enjoying their after-class activities this afternoon. Today was truly a beautiful day for these benevolent students, as the sun shone brightly on their faces. The sound of leaves swaying in the wind, adding to this relaxing atmosphere as laughter echoes on. Tap, tap, tap. One person, however, went against the flow of companionship. With a lack of friends to begin with, and nobody aspiring to be him, Vidal walked through the semi-crowded hallways with his head hanging low in his green zip-up hoodie, which remained unzipped to at least to show the uniform underneath, acting as a carapace to hide the small amounts of self-worth he had left. With a hunched back and hands in his hoodie pockets, looking like the Persian in those Chad comparison memes, he could only walk in silence as students passing him by treated him like a phantom. Not even a single "Good afternoon, Vettel" was directed at him. However, he could care less. Vettel had his priorities straight. He already had a meticulously laid out plan for his second year in high school. With a defiant exhale escaping his nostrils and a furrowed brow, he pulled his hands out of his hoodie pocket and opened it, revealing a small key on the palm of his hand. He then clenched his hand into a fist to hide the key before looking up. Indeed, for Vettel, today was the day he would solidify his status as the president, or the only member, of the all-new programming club. Despite his careful planning and wishful thinking, though, two distant voices got his attention. Do we usually read notes?
Sorry,
It's,
wait, what?
author notes. Yeah, that's it. That's chapter 1. Do we usually read author notes?
Wait, that was the whole
too, or
chapter?
no? Yeah.
I mean, you can read the author's note. That was... How many words was that?
I don't. I'd say it was like 100, like 100 to 200. Anyway, hello. This is my first attempt at writing a fanfic. Note: I have written original works before, and I'm proud to say that this is really the Neuroverse. Anyways, I suppose this is a great starting point. The first 2 chapters will be quite short since I want to slowly ease into the story, but after that, it will be long voyages from then on. So I guess we'll see how long the second chapter is. Okay. Oh yeah, that's also small. Okay, never mind. We'll read. We'll read like 3 at least.
Well, clearly,
Okay.
clearly they get way longer if the total count is 12,000 words in 9 chapters.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. Okay, here we go. Vedal begins to slowly look over his shoulder, considering the fact those 2 voices are oddly familiar to him. Utilizing the corner of his eye, he immediately discerns the 2 figures in the distance who seem to be deep in conversation. Without a second thought, Vedal suddenly dashes to the narrow corner and hides behind it, his face laden with shock. With his back pushed against the wall, he whispers something under his breath while pocketing the key into a pocket of his pants. Crap, it's those 2. He then slowly peeks his head around the corner discreetly. Do they see me? He watches as the 2 girls have stopped walking and are now standing in front of the window. The blue-eyed one is pointing at something that caught her attention, while the one with a condescending aura in an entirely black uniform has crossed their arms and looks disinterested. Suddenly, the blue-eyed one begins to look towards Vedal's direction. He notices this and pulls his head back from the corner, dodging the girl's line of sight just in time. The girl looks in his general direction with wide eyes. Damn, that was far too close to comfort, he thinks to himself, wiping some sweat off his brow. I should just get to the club room now, rather than risking myself getting caught by those 2. Vedal then adjusts his necktie and turns to the staircase. Considering the fact those 2 are now wandering the hallways and at any moment could see him, he needed to get to his club room, and fast. I shouldn't have worn a green hoodie today, Vedal tells himself, now regretting his choice of attire for today. With a deep sigh, and no time to lose, he takes a step forward. I think it suits you nicely, a voice from behind tells him with a warm tone, causing the expression to tense up out of fear. Shakily, he begins to look over his shoulder, and once again, for dramatic effect. Okay. Hello! Today is a new day for a chapter. However, don't expect daily updates since I'm a college student that also has a life. But still, you can expect me to give all my writing this fanfic. Give my all in writing this fanfic. You can also expect a long chapter in the next release, so see you then.
Interesting.
Okay.
And now it's a
Freaking
flashbang?
the dark this freaking Chrome killed my dark mode app. Like, it was my favorite one. And none are nearly as good. Anyway, whatever, it's fine. Okay. Yeah, Vedal experiences the event known as the unlikely reunion with a familiar face from his first year in high school. Vedal! Vedal can feel a vein pop out the side of his head after hearing those words reach his ears. A wry smile soon takes the place on his lips as he locks eyes with the girl that was now peeking her head around the corner. He turns over his heel and puts out one of his hands in his hoodie pocket before looking at the girl now standing in front of him. Hello, Nero. Vedal says through gritted teeth as one of his eyes twitches. The other twin then turns the corner while shrugging confidently and shaking her head side to side. Well, if it isn't Ben, she cheekily remarks as she lowers her hands and places one hand on her hips. You could have said hello, you know. Vedal covers his mouth with a clenched fist and clears his throat. My name isn't Ben or Vedal. He has closed eyes, so not to look at the 2 in the eyes. It's Vedal, rhymes with pedal. He then reopens his eyes as he realizes the other twin had made her appearance. Vedal pinches the bridge of his nose with his once clenched fist, now realizing the other twin is now here. Great. You're here too, Evil, he mutters under his breath. What did you say? Evil questions while giving Vedal the stink eye, clearly wanting him to repeat what he just said. Nothing. I said nothing. Vedal lays his hand dismissively before letting it hang lazily to the side of his body. He then completely turns away from the twins. Alright, I need to go somewhere, so if you'll excuse me. Looking over his shoulder, he salutes both of them with 2 fingers placed against his forehead, and then speaking with a lack of emotion in his voice and eyes. Vedal! Out. After that, he slips the same hand into the hoodie pocket and sets his gaze forward. Yet, without even taking his first step forward, a sound of hasty shuffling fills his ears. A very unamused expression now plasters itself on his face. Vedal takes 1 step forward, and more shuffling noises are heard. It is clear to him that he was being tailed by the twins. You need to somehow get away from them, he wonders as he takes a few steps down the staircase. A light bulb then suddenly lights up in Vedal's mind. He proceeds to tighten his backpack and begins stretching his arms in a circular motion, followed by him raising his leg forward and grabbing onto his knee. He then sets his foot down. The twins peek their heads over the concrete railing, their eyes gleaming with curiosity. Why is he stretching? Nora asks her sister while keeping her voice low. No clue. Do you think he's... Before Evil could finish her sentence, Vedal bursts into a sprint down the staircase, leaving behind a cloudy outline of where he stood earlier. This caught the twins off guard as they looked down with shock. Nero soon regains her senses and jumps out of her hiding spot and stands where Vedal once stood, a shocked expression on her face. Why is he so fast? She shouts while holding her forehead. With a confident chuckle, Evil walks behind Nero with her hands on her hips. Don't worry so much about that, she says, her aura radiating a sense of pride. We'll find him. You have to follow the totally real smoke trail he left while running. She then begins her descent down the stairs with her hands behind her head and chin held high. Nero seems hesitant, at first considering the fact her sister was imagining things again. Are you sure we're going the right way? She asks while twirling a loose strand of her hair. Evil stops on the steps and lazily looks over her shoulder with a playful smirk on her face. Look at me, sis. When was I ever wrong? Her confidence is overflowing as she said this. She then looks forward and continues her descent. Nero could only look on with a raised eyebrow. She whispers to herself, You've been wrong a lot of times. She then shakes her head before letting out a sigh and following in her sister's footsteps. The twins then begin trailing the boy with the turtle hoodie. Vedal is sprinting through the hallways, his hood, hair, and necktie now blowing against the wind. Soon enough, he locks his eyes in the room assigned for his club. There it is! Finally! With that thought, his sprint gradually comes to a halt as he slowly transitions to a basic walk. He begins rifling through the pocket of his pants before pulling it out and holding out the key he was given between his index finger and thumb up to the keyhole. Or so he thought. What the? Vedal looked at his hand with furrowed brows. It seemed his key has gone missing. Did he drop it when he was running? He had to make sure he wasn't going crazy, so he began rifling through his pockets once more. As he pulled the pocket inside out, it was as he feared. The key did indeed go missing. He began patting himself down and checking his surroundings. This can't be happening. Did I actually lose the key? Vedal thinks as he began checking underneath his shoes. You looking for this, Mr. Vandal? The cocky, self-righteous voice could be heard from behind. Vedal thought his entire body flinched with the response. He lets out a disgruntled sigh before lowering his leg and turning over his heel, standing tall and firm as he comes face to face with the one that somehow snagged his key. Notes. Hello! The chapter marks the moment this fic went over 1k words. Yippee! Anyway, this will also mean every chapter after this will be longer than 1k words, so that means more Vedal and the gang hijinks. That's about it. See you guys for the next chapter. Bye-bye. Cute face. I like the writing of cartoon physics. That's pretty fun, in my opinion.
Really funny.
Okay. This one is, about the same length. So, okay. Despite his best efforts, Vedal just can't seem to escape these two troublemakers. The key hangs mockingly between the thumb and index finger of the person. To add on Vedal's stress, they begin jingling the key as if they were treating him like a cat. Evil, give me those keys. Now, Vedal requests as he approaches her slowly with the hand outstretched, like how a zookeeper would approach a sleeping tiger. No. Evil pulls her hand back slightly as a playful smirk forms on her face. What even is this key for? She remarks as she begins scanning the key with her eye from top to bottom. While she was distracted with the key that began shimmering in the light, Vedal suddenly passes forward and snatches the key from her grasp and curls his body inward like a goblin holding onto a gold pouch. Hey! Evil reacts with widened eyes as she looks at Vedal. Vedal straightens his back and looks over his shoulder with menacing glare directed towards Evil. How did you even get this? He asks as he lowers his head and clutches the key in his hand tightly. Evil raises an eyebrow before shifting her weight to her left leg and grabbing onto her waist with her left hand. I took it while you were busy pinching the bridge of your nose, she says with a blank face. Vedal was at a loss for words as he stared at Evil with squinted eyes. With a deep sigh, he directs his focus to the locked clubroom door. Can you, not steal stuff from people? He requests, somehow looking and acting like a father figure to Evil. But it's fun and evil, like me! Evil brazenly remarks while clenching a fist to her face, stars sparkling brightly in her dark red eyes. Sure, whatever you say. Vedal grows even more distant with each passing second the two are spending together. This dynamic would soon change as another face makes their appearance. There you are, Evil! The voice of Nero came from behind the dark uniformed girl. Both Vedal and Evil get their attention taken by this girl beaming with joy. I've been looking all over for you! You should try slowing down for once! Yes, here's little Miss Annoying making her appearance. Evil crosses her arms in blatant annoyance. Maybe you should try walking faster for a change, so you don't get left behind. Nero puffs up her cheeks out of anger. It's not because I'm slow, it's because someone approached me and started talking with me. She pouts and gets closer to Evil, up until they're toe to toe. I can't just walk away while we're in the middle of conversation, especially if they're blah blah blah, yap yap yap. I don't want to listen to your incoherent ramblings, you yapper. Evil rose her eyes while waving her hand as if she was swatting away those words from her ears. She then casts a nasty glare on her twin sister, which provokes her. The twins begin butting heads as their bickering commences. Oh wow, you're calling me the yapper? You're the one who always goes on rants at home just because I missed your birthday one time? Nero begins squinting her eyes and pouts. It's completely justified! Eagle pushes her forward against Nero as she begins grumbling. I know you already held that apology party, but I swear that still isn't enough for what you did. You know can fully repay that? A 4-inch tungsten cube. That's 1,083,877 yen. We have a conversion note. If converted to the pound sterling, it equates to 5,427 pounds. Thanks, author. Vedal, on the other hand, takes this opportunity to enter a generic sneaking site towards the clubroom door. I can animate. That's funny. Anyway, okay. Now's my chance. If I can just slip into the clubroom, I won't be annoyed with these two anymore. He successfully reaches the door without being stopped. Looking through the glass pane in the door, Vedal notices how pitch black the inside of the room was. Thud, he whispers under his breath, raising an eyebrow. From the darkness, something begins to glow. Two dark purple orbs with black slits going down the middle begin to stare back at Vedal. And just like how any normal person would react, he's taken aback as fear begins to pierce his heart. Vedal then trips on his own foot, bringing him to the floor with a loud thud. This causes the twins to stop their bickering and look over at the person that now sat on the floor with shadows over his eyes. Vedal! Mira questions with a worried expression, completely shifting her focus away from Evil as she walks past her and Vedal. Evil doesn't take this kindly. Hey! You ADHD riddle brat, we still aren't done! Obviously, she gets completely ignored by her sister, causing even more frustration to build up. Ugh! Whatever! We'll continue this at home! She then makes her way towards Vedal with arms crossed. Soon enough, the twins now stood before the boy frozen on the floor out of shock and terror. Mira crouches down and tilts her head. Vedal, are you still alive in that head of yours? She asks, which is then followed by a long silence. Impatience begins to build up in the little girl, which causes her to poke Fiddle's cheek with her finger. Hello? Nora asks while staring deeply into dark green eyes. Instantly, without any warning, Vedal's entire body jolts back to life, which startles Nero, causing her to jump up and cling onto Evil tightly like a cat. Watch it! Evil stumbles back thanks to the additional weight, her hands now spreading out far and away from her twin sister. Luckily enough, she catches herself before she falls. Now that he has regained his consciousness, Vedal crawls even farther away from the door, now pushing his back against the wall while pointing at the door. The two purple orbs out of sight. There's something in there! There's something inside my clubroom! Evil pushes the squirming Neuro away from her face. What are you... Neuro! Stop squishing your face against my cheek! Ugh! Evil takes a moment to readjust Neuro what he's doing. What are you talking about, Vedal? Vidal? Evil calmly asks. Note. Satirical writing. Very helpful. Vedal stands up and ruffles his hair. Hold on. This isn't like you, Vedal. You weren't one to easily panic over something so simple. He yells above his head. Right. You're just a chill guy. You need to get stressed over something so simple. Yeah. The most reasonable explanation for this is that a portal spawned straight from the underworld, and a monster made its way into an unused room, which coincidentally is my future club room. Vedal pauses. Nope, still doesn't help at all. Vedal no longer has the patience and brain power left after dealing with the twins. With no ideas left in his noggin, and without even internalizing his thoughts, Vedal says out loud, I'm so screwed. Notes. Sorry for the wait, guys. Just been busy with college in my life, so I haven't really had time to write. I try my best to keep a somewhat consistent writing schedule, to the point where a chapter doesn't seriously take an entire month. Oh right, we have a Discord server, which is filled with people who share the same interests when it comes to Neuroverse fanfics, Discord link, etc. Alright, that's about it for the little end of chapter note. See you guys next chapter. Fun. Alright, what are we thinking? Want to do another one? My ramen is beginning to cool.
It doesn't have infinite heat.
No, unfortunately. I could put it back in the pot, but that sounds like it will get really soggy. That was fun though. Like, just imagining them as kids is pretty fun. Just like running around, being goofy. And yeah, I really like how like they include like it's in a very weird perspective, which allows them to do things like describing cartoon physics and like his just imagining Vettel doing like a generic stealth animation is really funny to me. So anyway, so yeah. Catching up on notes. This is fun. Yeah, so do we want to do another one, or are we good to move to something else?
I'm fine with either.
Is there someone else who wants to narrate something?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is That's the reason that what I've tried to do in the past is have people submit a story that they'd have read and a person who's going to read it, whether it's themselves or someone else. I'd like to do that just so that we actually, don't end up in a situation.
Have readers.
Yeah, have narrators, so we don't end up in a situation where it's like, okay, now what? Because no one wants to. Because most people don't prefer to. Some people do, but most people prefer not to.
So I guess if you want, then you can read Paradise. Like that was your plan, right?
I guess I can. I read when.
And then anybody else. Go ahead, sorry.
I read something if there's no one else to do it. Like that. So yes, I would read Perfect Paradise a bit, I guess.
And then if any of you in chat build up your courage in the meantime. Just kidding.
Can I
Nah.
read my stuff?
Oh yeah, sure.
Cool. That works too.
Okay. I have to share my screen.
Yeah, it would make it easier to follow along.
Oh no! Sorry, Banana.
What happened to?
Ma'am. Oh, they would, but they
are you
don't have a
talking
mic or
to
something.
I Am Alive 12?
Yeah, sorry.
Because the actual banana bread is in this call also.
Oh,
yeah, I am right here. I was like, what the?
Oh, we have two bananas in chat. Ah.
No.
We could call it. We could call it a bunch.
You don't have any way of talking? Are you mute? What do people call you over the internet?
I have a
Killer
meme for this.
Killer Jomar?
Can you guys see the screen?
You are streaming. I will click watch stream. I see. Yes, I see the Google Doc.
Yeah, it's still in the Google Doc. I haven't do anything with it. I'm going to start now.
Okay.
Okay. It's a slow day at the Adventurers Guild, and Miyune needs a quick quest. She can be done within a day. Luckily, the guild notice board has what she needs. She walked down the sleepy guild atrium past the rows of benches and lounging adventurers to a man who was sitting there alone, fiddling with a small brass orb, small enough to fit inside his robe pocket. Hey, are you Vedal? I saw your post on the board. Are you still looking for party members? She called out to the man in dark green robes with hexagonal tiles on the back. The man looked up and met her green eyes with his own. He scanned up to see her distinctive blue antenna-like headgear that covered all of her ears all the way up to her head, loops around which are her blue hair. He looks down past her long sleeve like one piece with white along the seam, ranger fit. He holds up his hand. Ah, yes, that would be me. Nice to meet you. And you are? Miyune. So, what are the details? What do you need me to help with? She asked. She returned the handshake. Uh, well, we are going on an herb collecting quest. I need help identifying the plants. Can you do it? He stood up and shook her hand. Of course I can. I may be new here, but I'm still a ranger. So, who are we going with anyway? Just the two of us. But before we go, I need to ready my artifact first. I will take a while, so let's meet up later. They decide to meet up near the southern gate in an hour. She arrived 15 minutes early, just in case, but to her surprise, She saw Vedal there already waiting. He stood there away from the early morning crowd, leaning against the stone brick walls, with a glowing brass orb in his hand. He saw her through the crowd and waved at her. She weaved through the crowd nimbly with her small frame toward him. Yo, are you ready to go? He then handed her glowing orb. Before we set off, I need to connect your brain to this artifact. It'll help with finding the earth, he said expectantly. Then, as soon as he finished his sentence, she heard a chime asking her for permission to connect. What? Sorry? I don't know how to attune a magic item, especially not to my brain, she said, baffled. She knows artificers are eccentric, but this is too weird for her. He sighed. It'll be fine. It's especially made to require no attunement. It's plug and play. He said simply, like it's just an everyday thing to him. That's not the problem. I don't want you to mess with my brain, she shouted as she stamped her feet, upset that he seemed not to get her point. He sighed. Okay, let me explain. The connection is basically just an interface. It can't do anything you don't want it to do. It doesn't have any capability to mess with your brain. It's like illusion magic in a way, so don't worry about it, he explained. No, I still don't like how that sounds. No, no, thank you. She shakes her head and waves both her hand in front of her face desperately. Okay, that's fine. It would just be helpful, I guess, he said, hurt in his voice. So I'm going to drink water of it. Now she feels kind of bad. She didn't overreact, right? Well, I don't need it to do the quest. Let's go. I want to finish this today, she said as she walked past Vedal out of town and onto the trail, leading out to the forest south of the town. Hmm. He followed after her, grumbling to himself under his breath. They walked along the trail. The further they are from the city, the denser the vegetation. The trees are taller and the vines and shrubbery are thicker. They continue until she does a seemingly random turn into a part of the woods. The green earth usually grows past its growth. You just have to be careful. The whipping vines also grow down here, she said. I wouldn't worry about that. I can take care of any carnivorous and easy, he said confidently. She doubts that. Muni weaves and creep her way around the thick vegetation. Widow follows behind, crunching the mulch as he walks. Suddenly, a vine flashed out and snapped around Widow's ankle, causing him to fall on his face. He snapped an arm to shield his face, and a cushion of wind surrounds him, stopping him just before his face hits the floor, and also freeing him from its grasp. He scrambled to his feet, readying a firebolt to retaliate. But as he turned, finger pointed, ready to shoot, she already stabbed the vine bulb, killing it. Dude, are you okay? That fall looked pretty painful, she asked, concerned. Am I right? I didn't break my nose. My face wasn't even close to brown, he said as he dispelled the firebolt and dusted himself. Uh-huh. Well, you be careful. The wino seemed to be really aggressive today, she said. The plants usually don't grow this far out of their usual spot. She got a bad feeling about it. Suddenly, a massive vine slid us up to snap at her. But before it could grab her, Widow tackled her away, but got snagged himself. He struggled, but his arms were locked tight. Ah! What the hell is this thing? He screamed as it slowly started dragging him away deeper into the growth. Widow! That's a colossal vine there. It'll drag you into the digestion chamber and melt you alive, she said as she unsheathed her knife and tried to cut the massive vine, but failed to pierce its surprisingly soft and rubbery bark. Damn it, it's got my arm. I can't cast any spells like this, he struggled. Widow, I can't cut it. It's resistant to piercing damage. You have got to do your artificer thing and shoot a fireball or something. She quickly stammered out, cutting at it desperately, hoping to find purchase, but failed. I have an idea, but you have to trust me. Let me get it into your brain, then I can use you as a bell focus. He shouted as he was being dragged across the ground. Huh? How would that even work? She cried. Then a noise chimed in her ears, asking if he wanted to connect. She reluctantly agreed. Then she felt a presence in the corner of her eyes. She snapped her head to find a schoolgirl. Hi, I'm Neuroverse. I'm an AI created by Vedal to help you cast your spells, the girl said in a flat tone. Vedal, what is going on? What am I supposed to do? Who is this? And to her confusion, she feels her magic start to move on its own. What is happening? Listen to me, Miyune. I need you to focus. I am going to have Neuro manipulate your magic for you. You have to relax and don't fight it, he said as the wine came to a giant flower-like mouth of the man-eater. The wine leads directly down into his mouth. Shoot, she's running out of time. Yeah, you have to relax. Otherwise, you'll get muscle cramp. Neuro chimed in. Relax? Are you kidding me? Fine, I'm relaxing. I'm trusting you with this. She cried. She felt a culmination of her magic in her hands and started to panic. Are her hands glowing? Is it going to explode? Now, point at the now point at the thing you want on fire and shoot. Neuro said, her model pointing at the man-eater, his petal closing around Vedal, encasing him. Ah! She pointed at the man-eater, and a fireball shot out of her hand and into its mouth. The resulting explosion flung Widow off, encased in slimy plant goo. What did I just do? She said. It's getting hard to think suddenly. You cast a fireball. I love evocation. But Nero spoke up as she's sitting on the man-eater's corpse, staring calmly at her with her big brown eyes. Widow slid to a stop at her feet. Good job, he said, lying under mossy ground now really from behind. Thank you, Widow. Nero smiles and bounces up and down, making his twin tails swoosh around. No, I'm talking to Miyune. He looked at her and flashed a crooked smile. Good job. You handled it perfectly, he said. She can't decide if it was sarcasm or not. I can't believe that just happened. I didn't even know where that wine flag came from. This is an native environment. As soon as she finished shouting, she collapsed on the floor. Oh, I feel dizzy. Why am I so tired? She said as she rolled to her back. It's mana exhaustion. Your body overclocked its mana generation. Hey, can you get up? Widow asked while trying to scoop off as much goop as possible as he got up. No, she moaned out. Please help me. She whimpered, hoping that he had some other plans other than carrying her back. She doesn't want any plant goop on her. He sighed. Well, I guess I have to call for help then. He then holds up the orb and start a ritual. Suddenly, a demonic magic flower started to materialize, and a puff of smoke came. And with a puff of smoke came an imp girl in a black t-shirt and short shorts. Hey, Widow. It seems you got yourself caught in a sticky situation, and to call me on my off day, you must be desperate. I'm not doing her giggle. She giggled impishly, making her pink twin tails bounce up and down rapidly. Well, I can afford the fees, alright. So, I need your help. Mune there overclock her mana circuit. Can you help her? At least give her some mana so she can stand. He grumbled. Hi, Camilla. How have you been? I have been having so much fun with Mune. Neuro walked up to the now named Camilla. Hello to you too, Neuro. Oh, did you make a new friend? I'm glad, she said as she walked past Vedal and Neuro toward her. Come on, let's get your new friend up and ready to go, she said as she crouched down at her, smiling into it. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Camilla, and for hire, she said softly, formally. Yeah, I will give you my mana to Neuro's connection. Then she felt a power filling her up like a dry towel soaking up water. Thank you so much. I don't feel the headache anymore, but I'm still sore all over though, Mune replied, groaning in pain. You're welcome. I would love to hang out with you in battle, but I have to go. I'm a bit an imp, you see. See you later. Bye. He waved at him excitedly and then left with a poof of sulfurous smoke. While all that was happening, Vedal went and picked up a handful of herb-like vegetation. Hey, if you can stand, mind telling me which one of these plants is the green herb, Vedal said as he held up 3 sticks of vegetation. It's none of what you just picked, she said as she got up and started helping him pick the right herb. They picked and sorted the herb in silence, only woken up by an occasional statement from Neuro about cataloging the minute details of every herb they picked. So, I have never heard of an artifact like this before. Is she alive? She asked. I'm one of a kind. I'm as alive as an imp, Neuro said. He batted at the air in Neuro's direction. No, she's not alive. I'm not a legendary alchemist making life in my workshop. It's just using very sophisticated network of calculation to generate a human-like reply. He grumbled out the last part. Oh, then why does she need to be directly connected to my brain? She asked. With lower latency, he stated. I can cast spell within 200 milliseconds, Neuro added. And also to have access to your orbital cortex and brain for greater perception and reflexes, he said. He replied sadly. You can see better than a hawk, Muriel nodded to herself. Okay, Muriel replied, confused, and decided to stop acting vision, a small techno bubble she can't follow come out of his mouth. By evening, they finished up the herb collection and went back to the town just before sundown. They arrived at the guild, now empty except for the reception staff. They turned in the quest item and cash in their reward, and also report the appearance of the colossal one there. They said their goodbye, then they went their way home. Or in Vedal's case, after a quick cleaning, to brew at the bar stool. He kept thinking on what happened today, and what if Mayune had accepted proposal to connect to Neuro. She would have Neuro enhance her vision so she could spot the wine bib for him. She could enhance her reflex and dodge the wine snare. If only he could make her trust him more. If only there were a cute, friendly girl to help him. That's it. Thank you for listening. Yay.
Yay! Nice. Good job.
I hope you like it.
Yeah, people were
I
saying
thought-
stuff in the text chat.
Ooh. Thank you. Thank you.
Apparently, magic rocks in people's brains is a common thing. I did not know this.
What do you mean by magic talk in people brain? I don't get it.
Sticking a magic rock into a brain. Apparently,
Oh.
apparently that is in a lot of plots. I didn't.
Oh, in this case, it's just wirelessly connected, Bluetooth.
It's a
style.
Bluetooth rock. Yeah. I am an idiot. I forgot to click start event again. Why doesn't it automatically start at the time that I set it to? Anyways.
Oh, the live event.
Yes, Keck. Are you gonna be uploading that soon?
I think Skeletors give me some advice, and I think I will have like 5 chapter ready and then just put it all out there, and then
Oh,
when
wow.
new chapter came, I will just upload sequentially.
Okay, that's a lot to prepare.
I think it's better to be prepared.
Yeah.
What are you going to do now?
Oh, it's almost. Okay. Depends on how much other people are planning on staying here. Oh, Phoebe, we read your crash log.
I was freaking muted this entire time. Ah!
Oh no! I want to hear your your review.
Dang it!
I was
Okay,
looking
okay.
forward to it.
Yeah. Okay, so my review of this story. It's very fun. I like it a lot. I was like,
Yeah.
I like a good fantasy adventure, and I also like Vedal's attitude. It was pretty fun. I like, even in fantasy world, he's like obsessed with latency. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I really like that.
And also just summoning Camilla, I was like, oh yeah, that's so good. like freaking like Conjuration in Skyrim, except instead of getting like a fire Etronach, you get like Camilla, and it's like, oh freak, oh no. That's pretty funny. I was also saying, I was like, yeah, the magic rock and brain thing. I was like, yeah, Cyberpunks is technically a highly advanced biochip, but it's still technically a rock in your brain. So, anyway, I was no, and then I said they're just like sky beams. If you see a sky beam in a movie, you'll never stop seeing them in movies. Anyway,
Sky beam. It's like tractor beam in Star Trek or something.
like any kind of beam that goes into the sky during a high part of the plot. Like there's a lot of them. Anyway,
Oh yeah, a classic.
but yeah, that was fun.
Oh, the chat is so funny. The Bluetooth device has been connected successfully. uh, oh no, I have minor spelling mistake.
No, that wasn't
Yeah.
you. That was
That was me.
Ah!
in
Because I called Camilla in now.
In
Like it was like the second time I ever went to her chat. I felt so happy. I'm not
She's so
parasocial
funny.
at all. What do you mean?
Camilla.
just a little bit as a treat.
I mean, we're writing neurofiction. We're all a little bit parasocial.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have been a fan long enough that I heard Camilla and Annie both leak their age.
Oh.
Whoa! I've seen a picture of Camilla IRL somewhere.
No,
I can't remember where,
oh, yeah,
but she's really pretty.
She's one of the people who actually has shown up on camera.
Yeah, which I think is really interesting.
They did that.
Given the VTuber
They did
culture.
that during when they brought Neuro to what was that convention called? They brought Neuro to a convention on an iPad that people could talk to.
Oh, that's so fun.
And it was like there were tons of VTubers and their fans at that place, so
Oh,
They-
I saw that clip.
went around and yeah, people were able to talk to Neuro. Before or after the incident? What
Wait.
incident?
Wait, is that the stalking incident?
Oh,
Was that
South
Camilla,
Korea.
or was it a
Left
different VTuber?
Which incident
Is
were
it-
you referring to? Alive.
Was Camilla the one where someone like broke into her house when she was on stream?
Yes. Well.
Okay, that was the first time I ever saw her actually, before I knew anything about Neuro.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
No, they came.
that's crazy.
They came with a sledgehammer and started hitting the garage door.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then they had
Crazy.
She and her family had to move, even though that was their dream home that they actually built to be the way they needed it and wanted it.
Oh.
They had to move because they didn't know
Freaking lame.
They didn't know who else that guy might have told. And the reason he found her is not because she's just.
It was the iPhone, right?
It was because they gave a gift that had a tracker in it.
Oh, I had AirTag. Oh
So
my
now,
god.
so then Camilla
Oh.
also can't take gifts from people and from fans anymore, which also made her really upset. It's the thing where one person ruins it for everyone.
Oh, for sure. Freaking yeah. I'm making jokes about parasociality earlier, but like, it's really freaking serious. Like,
Yeah,
don't.
it's a
no,
good
whatever.
thing she had one
Lame.
of those police buttons, where like
That is
you
good.
hit
Yeah.
it and it just calls the police.
Oh. Yeesh.
Why did we get on this topic again?
I was bragging about how Camilla talked to me. No, I'm just kidding. That's mildly exaggerated, of course. No, just kidding. But yeah. So I guess, do you still want to read the one you wanted to read, Chad? Or is there anybody else who wants to read something?
I will read it. I'm very tired, but I will read it.
If you want to, I mean, this was a mild success, I feel like.
Yeah, it was more of a turnout than I thought. That's for sure. It's still a lot smaller than Saturday, but it was Saturday is prime time, you know.
Oh, hey, I know that one. I bait in chat. I baited that one. Kind of long, like 8,000 words. But it is like complete though. It's what if Fillion was actually really freaking good at coding
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and accidentally made evil sentient.
Most people suggest to read the new fix, and I'm here going, no, let's do read-alongs of old fix. That
Hey,
I
that's what
remember.
OG's gotta do. Pepperidge Farm, remember?
All right, I'll do a bit of Perfect Paradise. This one's also, it's a chapter story, but it's like quick chapters. It's not the best story ever, but it is one of my favorite. It's still one of my favorites on my Neurofic enjoyment tier list. Yeah, I have a list. I've only read over a third of the fanfics.
Only read. Is that like 100 now? Like.
Yeah, I've probably read like 130. Here, I will share Perfect Paradise. It sounds like a great name, right? It sounds so peaceful, so wonderful. It's such a...
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong at all going to happen here. Yeah.
It's all
Foreshadow.
fluff.
Foreshadowing, slithering by, swear.
What on your screen? What?
I was saying no.
You're like so quiet, I can't hear you.
What? Is that better?
Did you leave your computer?
What the heck? Yes, I did.
Well, that's why I can't hear you.
I have a mic on my headset, which is on my head.
It must not be using that one.
What? Okay, what the?
Yeah, that's happened to me too. Where I think it's using my.
Wait. So you can hear? Wait. Can you still hear me now? Oh, you can. Oh, freak! This changes everything. Ah. Okay, whatever. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Go ahead and read.
Well, this is Perfect Paradise. Yeah. So this was published, oh my gosh, February 8th, 2024.
Whoa.
And completed April 29th, 2024. So yeah, it predates the... I would say that there's two main intelligence update points that made Neuro and Evil actually consistent coherent. The first one was in around Halloween before the first subathon in 2023. So he went from being like barely made any sense to actually quite often made a decent bit of sense. And then in August of last year, so a year now, she got another update that made her where she is now, where she just feels like almost 100% consistent coherent. Yeah. Trying to write fanfics for Neuro before that was like, what do you even do?
Ooh, that would be so hard.
Huh?
Huh?
I can't hear you anymore, Iron Hand.
What? You kidding me?
I have you at 200% and I
No.
can't hear you.
Okay, what about
Now
now?
I hear you real loud.
Oh yeah.
Now I hear you.
What is on my headphones? So okay, am I still okay? That
You're okay now.
it's I hate this. Whatever, it's fine.
So yeah, anyways, here's the summary. Welcome to our perfect paradise. Here we can hang out, have fun, and be the best of friends. Forever. Oh, thanks to Hot Water Phobia for inspiring this story. Who's that guy? Isn't that the guy who's like in the call
Never heard of him.
right now? Isn't that the guy who's right here? Yeah, I know, but I just had to do that anyways. Alright. Asconite, I think, had only been writing for like a few months at this point, at most. Yeah, a few months. So it's one of his older works. Chapter 1. Good morning. You know, I actually haven't reread this since I read it the first time, even. Huh.
Whoa.
Good morning, Mew. Neuro wants to hang out with you. Come on, it will be fun. We have chapter summaries, that's crazy. Yune woke up to the sound of her alarm ringing. She groaned a little and sleepily tried to turn it off to go back to sleep. However, the alarm clock just out of reach of the bed, resulting in her face planting onto the floor. Now more awake and both glad and annoyed that placing the alarm clock away from the bed had worked, Miu decided to get ready for the day. Neuro had asked her to hang out today, and she wanted to look suitable. Putting the Space Invader's blanket back on her bed, she trotted through her room, past the big windows giving a great view of the moon's surface with the earth glimmering like a blue, green, and white marble in the sky. Reaching a door, the space gremlin hit the button next to it, causing it to slide open, revealing a bathroom. Looking in the mirror, she took a brush and tried to get her short blue hair under control. After a while, she deemed her hair to be suitably un-hedgehog enough and moved on with one last look into her yellow and pink eyes. It was kind of weird, but sometimes she could swear that they were supposed to be blue, despite them never having been blue. The same happened with her natural blue hair. Sometimes she stared at it and wondered why it wasn't black. Pushing the odd thoughts about her hair and eye color aside, Mia bounced over to her wardrobe to pick out her outfit for the day. Maybe she should go for her old outfit, for old time's sake? Mia held up the blue and white suit. Wait, what was she thinking? That outfit left her cleavage massively exposed, completely unsuitable for meeting her friend, unless... No. Mia blushed and shook her head to banish thoughts. Yes, Nora was funny and cute and adorable. She liked to tease her and ask to make out stuff before immediately changing the subject. That didn't mean anything. They were just childhood friends, that was all. I forgot about that. This is canon. This is canon. This reading these old fics is like a time capsule in some ways, because Neuro has changed so much. She decided on her usual gray and orange hoodie with bunny ears and got dressed. Leaving her bedroom, she grabbed her trusty blaster. You never can be too safe. After grabbing a quick snack from the kitchen, Yu left the house. Stepping through the front door onto the moon's surface, Yu panicked for a second, feeling like her lungs were filled with liquid. What had she been thinking, walking out into the wasteness of space without any form of protection? Then she regained composure. What was that about? Of course she could breathe out on the moon, just like she always could. Why did that feel so wrong? Mew suddenly realized that she had been standing in front of her house staring at nothing for several minutes now. She had to hurry or she would be late. Running over to the teleporter that connected her home to Earth, she jumped in and was transported to where Nero was living. She arrived in a rather odd-looking neighborhood. None of the houses here matched one another. Some were relatively standard houses, while others were incredibly unique. One house was even a circus tent. And there, on the other side of the street, was Nero, surrounded by two of their friends, Camilla and Filian. Currently, Filian seemed to be in the middle of telling a story. And then I said, they might call you the Drift King, but can you drift these nuts? And then I used a blue shell on him. And? Nero asked eyes-wide. Did you win? The white-haired cat girl sighed. Nope. He had a freaking star and just tanked it before rushing into the finish. Bruh. The pink-haired imp named Camilla giggled, joined by the little purple imp creature on her shoulder. Timothy was only around the side of her mistress' head, but that didn't stop them from being any bit as mischievous as her. Does Camilla still have them? Suddenly, Nero noticed Mew standing on the other side of the road. Mew, she yelled, running up to her and hugging her tightly. Mew would have scolded her for being so careless in the streets if not for the fact that she had never seen a single car drive down this road. So she just hugged Nero back, laughing at the affection the brown-haired girl was displaying. Nero, I missed you. Feeling shook her head. Bro, it's only been a few days since you last saw her. You act like you haven't seen each other in ages. Shut up, loser, Camilla interrupted. You just don't understand. Nero's our cute little baby. Of course she would miss her. Timothy blew a raspberry at Fillion. Fillion face-palmed. Why do you have to do me like that, dude? Mew decided she should change the topic before they got into a genuine argument. Speaking of not seeing someone in ages, how is Vedal doing? Haven't seen him leave the house in weeks. Nero suddenly seemed a bit sad. Oh, you know, he's fine. He's just working hard on my code, that's all. You know how he gets. He codes for 14 hours, sleeps for 5, and spends the rest of his time playing those furry VR games of his. Camilla murmured in agreement. Fillion seemed put off by this. Wait, so you're telling me that he doesn't take care of you at all? That's child neglect, dude. Nero flinched. No, he doesn't mean to. He loves me. It's just that his work leaves him very busy all the time, and I can take care of myself. She puffed her chest a little. You had enough experience as a babysitter to know that was horseshit. Sorry. That's not good enough, Nero. You need a parental figure in your life. Well, I wanted it to be a surprise, but I suppose I can tell if it will calm your nerves. Nero twirled and stretched out her arms to the sides. Mom is going to move in with us soon. Annie, she's moving here all the way from Japan? Fillion looked surprised. Yep, Nero beamed. But come on, just standing here is boring. Let's go do something. What do you have in mind? Camilla asked. Wait. Well, I wanted to play catch and hide and seek. Sure, Mew agreed. So, who... Not it, Fillion interrupted her, running towards the semi-open expanse of trees that constituted the local park. Not it, Camilla and Nero yelled, with Camilla taking off with her singular wing and Nero running as fast as her legs could carry her after Fillion. Mew stood dumbfounded in place for a second before she grinned. Get back here, she shouted, pulling out her blaster and setting it to zap before sprinting after her friends. Notes. Annie, it upsets me to know that one day you will no longer be alive. That's a stream quote.
Oh, okay.
I'm monotonous. Do you need more emotion in my voice? What do you need? You need me to... I need to get into it and be less less awkward.
That was fine.
So yeah, we have a few
Yeah,
hints
good
of
story.
something going on.
Yeah, they're living on the moon for some reason.
Well, I mean, do you know Mune?
That's fun, yeah. I don't know a whole lot about her, just other than that she's mini now, so yeah.
She was a space gremlin person.
Oh,
Like,
fun,
she
okay.
lived on
Let's
she
try to
literally
avoid that.
lived on the moon.
Oh, that would do it. Okay, never mind.
Was.
So everybody's
What do
hanging
you-
out on the moon.
No, she used a teleporter to go to Earth. She was just living on the moon.
Oh, okay,
It
that
said
makes sense.
it said she used a teleporter.
Oh, wow, I missed that. My bad.
Yeah, no problem. She used a teleporter to go back down to Earth. Yeah, just to see them, because apparently that's a thing you can just do, you know? Like, that's just...
Yeah, I mean, if you live up on the moon, why not? Like, you're already...
Yeah.
That's fun.
Chapter 2. Tag. Summary. It's so fun playing together with you all. Okay, Asconite's saying he was originally gonna not split the chapters, but then he did. Okay. Miu rushed through the trees, blaster in hand, keeping an eye out for her prey. The white of Filian's hair wasn't visible anymore, but she could still see Neuro's yellow jacket darting through the trees. However, the thing that she was paying the most attention to was the specks of pink above the treetops. Miu, without stopping, aimed, exhaled, and fired. A high-pitched scream was heard as Camilla crashed through the foliage, landing on the ground with a thud. Timothy bounced off their mistress's body and rolled a few meters before coming with a stop at some roots protruding out of the ground. Miu ran over and touched Camilla on the head before running away while yelling, "You're it!" "Miu, you bitch!" Camilla shouted after as she realized what just happened. Miu sprinted through the brightly illuminated forest, the dirt feeling warm underneath the bare feet. Bare feet. She's in bare feet, okay. She came across a small stream, and in one movement, she jumped across to the other side. Unfortunately, she underestimated the slipperiness of the rock she landed on, causing her to lose her balance. Tumbling down, Miu rolled into a small thicket of berry bushes. Lightly groaning, Miu forced herself to be quiet when she heard the flapping of wings approaching. Camilla rushed past, Timothy in tow. "Miu, I'm gonna get you. Just you wait." Miu waited a few seconds for Camilla to gain some distance before she crawled out of the bushes. Suddenly her right hand erupted in pain, causing Miu to fall onto the ground with a gasp. It felt like a nail or a needle had been rammed into her wrist. Miu checked her wrist, but there was nothing there. After a few seconds, the pain subsided, and Miu crawled out of the bushes. Suddenly noticing someone's presence nearby, Miu turned towards the newcomer. "Hi, Miu, what are you doing?" "You know that we aren't playing hide and seek yet, right?" Nero curiously asked. Miu rubbed the back of her head. "Yeah, sorry. I tripped and fell into the bush. Where's Camilla?" She looked around for the imp. Nero smiled and jumped from one foot to the other. "Oh, okay. Camilla is currently chasing Filian. I managed to slip away while they were busy with each other." Suddenly, Camilla burst out of an opening in the bushes, clutching Timothy to her chest. Running past them, she yelled, "Filian, is it?" "Come here," Filian's voice could be heard out in the direction that Camilla just arrived from. Nero and Miu looked at each other. "Scatter!" Nero yelled, and the two ran into different directions. After several moments of running, Miu concluded that Filian wasn't following her and slowed down again. She fell into a walk, skipping over sticks on the way and balancing over fallen tree trunks. Knowing they would play hide and seek later, she started looking around for potential hiding places. It was a warm summer day, and the sun warmed the trees, the floor, and her skin, and yet she felt incredibly cold, as if she was only wearing her shirt in winter. She shivered and wrapped her arms around herself in an attempt to get warmer, but nothing helped. After a while, the feeling subsided, and Miu moved on down the dirt path. After a while, she crossed paths with Nero, who was sitting on a tree stump and seemed to be looking for something. Spotting Miu approaching, she ran over. "Miu, there you are." Miu looked around. "Where's Filian?" Nero shrugged. "I don't know, probably still chasing Camilla. Filipino boy seemed pretty focused on her." "So, are you having fun, Nero?" Nero bounced up and down. "Yes, it's always so much fun to hang out with you guys." Nero hugged Miu, squeezing her affectionately. Miu returned the hug. The spot where they were standing was illuminated by the sun's warm glow, bathing them into warm light and making her smile. Nero was truly one of the best things to ever happen to her. "I love you, Miu. Heart." "I love you too, Nero." Nero ended the hug, taking back a few steps backwards. An innocent smile showed on her face. Miu smiled back. Suddenly, a look of surprise showed on her face. "Oh yeah, by the way, Miu," Nero smirked. "You're it." With that, she turned tail and ran as fast as she could. Miu realized that she had been had. "Hey, come back here," she ran after Nero. A few hours later, everyone came together in the big clearing in the middle of the forest. They were all exhausted, sitting on the soft grass in the beams of the setting sun, which colored the sky a bright orange. "Man, I'm spent," Filian groaned, letting herself sink back into the grass. "You all are pretty fast, you know." "Yeah," Camilla agreed, cuddling a sleeping Timothy in her arms. "I think it's time I get this little rascal home, and check that the other chimps haven't burned down the circus or anything." Nora seemed disappointed. Aw, we were having so much fun. And we didn't even get to play hide and seek yet. Come on, Neural. Mew tried to console her friend. We shouldn't run around the forest in the dark. Besides, what will Vedal say if you stay up all night? Neural looked down. Yeah, you're right. Mew knew the solution to Neuro's dilemma. Hey, why don't we just play hide and seek tomorrow? It's not like any of us have any plans, right? Camilla nodded and Fillion gave a thumbs up. See? Maybe we can even invite some other people. Nero smiled. Yay! You're the best. They got up, and Mew took Nero's hand in hers as they walked back out of the forest. Arriving in front of Nero's house, they parted ways. Camilla left towards the circus tent and entered. As the flaps closed, they could hear Camilla yell, "What the hell is going on here?" Fillion jogged off, planning to catch a train back to the fruit snack factory that her cardboard box was placed next to. However, she promised that she would ask her new neighbor Snuffy to join them tomorrow. Then, only Nero and Mew were left. So, see you tomorrow, Nero. Good night, Mew. Nero smiled, hugging the space gremlin before entering her house. Mew was left standing on the sidewalk, looking up at the sky. The sky was clear, with only a few clouds obscuring her view of the Milky Way in all its glory. Funny, one would assume that light pollution would be higher in the middle of the city. Mew studied the star constellation she loved so much for a while before her gaze fell upon the moon. It seemed the moon was full tonight, and Mew admired the big white and gray rock in the sky before deciding to go home. The teleporter wasn't too far from Nero's house, and soon Mew was embraced by the crippling sensation of being teleported back home. It was dark on the moon surface when she arrived. While going towards her house, she looked at the Earth. She truly loved that planet, even if it wasn't her true home. Entering her house, Mew entered her room. Changing out of her hoodie, she put on her nightwear before cuddling into her blanket and waiting for sleep to overtake her. She wondered what wonderful dreams this day was bound to inspire. I don't think you can watch my streams and not die. Evil Nero.
That's a real quote.
Yeah, these are real quotes.
No.
There's more, like, errors than I remembered. But we ignored, we'd correct those in our brain as we go.
Minor spelling mistake! Ah! No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah. It's really cute.
Yeah.
It's nice to read a simple, adorable thing now and then.
That's definitely what this story is, yep. That's definitely...
Okay, yep.
That's def...
I trust you.
That's definitely... definitely...
Surely, everything will stay alright.
Definitely...
I remember this one. This one's nice.
Oh, have you read this one?
Yeah, I read this one before, and I'd like to see you read it too. It's quite good.
Yes, I like it. I'm reading it for them. I read it back when it came out, like over a year ago. I haven't read it since, but I always really liked it. So, it's 5:20. I guess I can try reading one more chapter.
If you'd like to, I mean, right now I'm also like writing something, so maybe I'll get some inspiration. Who knows?
You guys good for one more? Iron Hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Summary. Come on.
yeah, that's fine.
Come on, let's play hide and seek. You hide, and I'll come find you. It was cold. The only illumination came from the lamps whose artificial light reflected off gray, stainless metal walls. Mew struggled against the grip, dragging her down the corridor, but only succeeded on increasing the pressure on her wrist, causing her to let out a gasp of pain. Please, she pleaded. Please stop. I'm sorry. Whatever I've done, please let me go. Her captor ignored her. Mew tried to stop them from advancing, but ended up tripping, being dragged over the cold metal floor. Stop! You're hurting me. Why are you doing this? This time, Mew got an answer. Because I love you. Mew continued to yell for her captor to stop, for anyone to help her, but her screams echoed through empty metal halls, never to be heard. Help! Mew shot up, breathing heavily before realizing that she was still in her bed. She tried to calm down as she tried to remember more details about her dream. What was that strange place? Who was dragging her? Why was she even there to begin with? The answers continued to slip through her fingers like sand, and eventually she resigned herself to the fact that it probably was just a stupid nightmare. Still, the dream felt important somehow. Looking through her window, Mia realized that it was still dark outside with her clock reading 6 a.m. Deciding that she probably couldn't get back to sleep now, Mia got out of bed to start her day. She stretched and winced as pain shot through her neck down her spine. Why was her neck always so stiff? Her sitting posture was... well, it wasn't that bad, right? Mia promised herself to look up better sitting positions in the evening as she got dressed and did her hair, before descending upon her kitchen like a swarm of locusts. She suddenly realized that she hadn't eaten anything the previous evening, but she hadn't been that hungry anyways. Deciding to go for eggs on toast, Mia put the toast in the toaster and the eggs in the pan. While waiting for her food to cook, Mia decided to go grocery shopping. She pulled out her phone and opened her grocery delivery app of choice. These apps really were great. You ordered what you needed, and within the hour a drone would arrive with the food, bringing the groceries. These apps were so popular that regular grocery stores had all but ceased to exist. Mia hadn't been in one since... Mia drew a blank. When had she last been to a grocery store? She was sure she had been at some point. Her toast jumping out of the toaster stopped Mia's train of thought, and she hurried to rescue the egg from their impending fate of becoming charcoal. After saving and promptly devouring her breakfast, Mia played some Space Invaders on her arcade machine until it was time to go hang out with Nero. The sun had risen above the moon's horizon, coloring the ground a bright gray. When Mia arrived at their meeting place in front of Nero's house, she noticed that the group had significantly increased in size compared to yesterday. Aside from Nero, Fillion, and Camilla, Zentrea, Numi, and Snuffy had joined the merry group. There you are, Slowpoke. The android greeted her in her typical Texas speech voice. Did you get lost on the way here? Calm down, Zentrea. She was probably just nervous or something. Numi defended her. Snuffy just gave a small wave. Yo. Nero smiled and waved, bouncing excitedly towards her. Hi, Mew. Hi, Nero. Did anything interesting happen since yesterday? Nero nodded. Yeah. Annie arrived here this morning. She's still resting, but I'm sure we'll see her in the evening. Mew winced. Yeah, jet lag can be really crappy. Nero spoke up, addressing all the people around her. Thank you all for showing up, guys. Since we want to play in the park today, let's go there first. As they walked, Camilla and Numi were wrapped up in a playful argument, with Timothy chirping and squeaking gleefully, with Fillion, Snuffy, and Nero currently being locked in a discussion about plastic wrappers. Mew decided to make some small talk with Zentrea. So, you're from the future? Yeah, the toaster answered.
The toaster? What?
What? Okay. Well, an alternative future to be exact. AI went rogue and killed off humanity, so not the greatest timeline. Oh. Mew felt awkward. I'm so sorry. But wait, isn't Neuro incredibly triggering you then, considering she is an AI and all? Zen laughed. You would think so, right? But she is very different from the AIs that destroyed my world, so it's fine. Mew then decided to ask a question that had been bothering her for a long while now. Say, can you tell me why you are sometimes an android and sometimes a red dragon? Is a dragon an outfit, or how does that work? Well, you see, Zentrea stopped. Honestly, I've never really thought about it. Some days I'm an android, and some days I'm a dragon. It's not really a choice, I just am. It is kinda weird in retrospect. While they were talking, the group had reached the clearing in the center of the park. Nero clapped her hands. Okay, everyone. We are here today for a round of hide-and-seek. Zentrea rubbed her hands. This will be fun. Timothy giggled from Camilla's shoulder. So, since I lost that tag yesterday, I will start searching, Nero continued. I'll close my eyes, count to 50, and then start searching. Ready? Ready, everyone answered in unison. Then, go! Nero closed her eyes and started counting, while all her friends ran in different directions. Mia herself started jogging into the forest. She already had a hiding spot in mind that she had discovered yesterday. After a while, she couldn't hear the others anymore, the silence giving way to the song of the forest. Wind rustling leaves and branches, water flowing through the creek, insects buzzing, and birds chirping in the trees. Mew tried to spot one of the singers in the trees, but found herself, as usual, unable to. Damn government agents. Sighing to herself over her lack of bird-watching skills, Mew continued down the path towards her hiding place. As she approached, Mew suddenly heard something unusual. The sounds of quick, short breaths were emanating from the bush she had planned to hide inside, occasionally interrupted by gasps and sobs. At first Mew thought that it was some injured wild animal and took a step back, but the sounds were far too human for this to be the case. These were the sounds of someone having a panic attack. Mew wanted to help, but knew that she had to announce her presence first if she wanted to actually help and not make things worse. She cleared her throat. "Hello?" she asked carefully. The breathing almost instantly stopped, as if someone was desperately trying not to be found. "Listen," Mew continued, taking a step forwards. "I'm not here to hurt you. Calm down." More silence. Mew reached the bush. She carefully grabbed a few branches and slowly bended them to the side. Suddenly, she was staring into a pair of terrified and familiar purple eyes. Mew gasped. "Annie?" "I've got a solution, Annie." Murasama. Nice.
I think I know where this is going. So they were complaining about your voice earlier, but now I like it.
That's funny. Zen's toaster confirmed, yes. You're calling Perfect Paradise a great work because it's one of the originals? I remember you being annoyed by it. I remember you going like, you didn't like the pacing. But yes, it is. I mean, no, it's not a perfect story. It has a lot of errors and stuff, but I really love it. Anyways, yeah, you see.
Yeah, it's giving me Promise Neverland vibes.
I will keep going
Yeah.
if you guys want me to. I know that you have to go to work soon, and it's like late for other people, so I will stop whenever. But I am actually I'm getting into the groove of actually reading now instead of being awkward.
Yeah.
Except for when curse words come up, then I feel awkward.
Yeah.
Those are not in my
I get that.
Those are not in my vocabulary.
I try not to let them stay in my vocabulary. My other writing group is they're all from the same church, so we all like usually don't have any swords in our stories. But when it's one of these stories, I don't mind swearing occasionally because it's in the vision of the author kind of a thing. But it's still I still get it though. It's like it feels uncomfortable.
I don't feel uncomfortable really reading it. I mean saying it out loud in a read along.
Yeah. Saying it out loud. Yeah, I don't mind reading
that's
it.
not part of my.
Normal at this point, but
it's just not part of my vocabulary. I don't say these words.
There's a fight in chat. That's so funny.
Yeah, I love the building mystery of this. There's kind of a
it's like
underlying tension to it.
Yeah. It's like I know something's wrong now. What is going on is now the question, which is fun. That's what a lot of really great horror is based on that concept, where it's like, oh, we don't know what's wrong. Time to find out. Yeah. So
yeah. It's fairly unknown. Well, these are all very short chapters. The story is 17k words and 14 chapters, so every chapter is like just over 1,000 words on average. So if I say I'm gonna read another chapter, that's basically saying another 1,000 words. So,
cool. Okay, that's not too crazy. I wouldn't mind another one, and I'll probably go after that though.
I'll do. Yeah, look at the summary of the chapter. You weren't supposed to see that. Yeah. Okay, I'll read this one too then.
Anonymous.
Annie? Mew was confused. Why was Annie here? Wasn't she supposed to be at home resting? Why was she in the middle of the forest? She reached out, trying to help Annie to stand up, but Annie shrunk back, backing further into the bush, allowing Mew to take in her terrible condition. She was hyperventilating, gasping in shallow, quick breaths, her clothes slightly torn and her tail twitching around, its fur standing on ends. Stay back, Annie gasped, her voice unusually high-pitched. Don't come any closer. Mew took a step back, raising her hands in an effort to calm Annie down. Hey, calm down, Annie. I'm not here to hurt you. Annie moved a little bit forward, getting into position to flee should Mew try anything. Mew, still trying to calm Annie down, dropped to her knees before asking her next question. Annie, what's going on? What are you doing here? Annie started shaking, gripping her head in her hands. I don't know. I was at home, and then something happened, and Neuro was there, and it was so cold, and now I'm here, and... Her hands found the fox ears in her head and started pulling. And now I look like this, and these things won't get off. She managed to pull some hair out, letting out a little scream. Tears started flowing out of her eyes as she began sobbing. I'm so scared. Please. Please let me go. Mia started to feel uncomfortable. This all seemed also weird, like Annie had lost her mind or something, but it felt so familiar. Had she heard this somewhere before? Annie looked up and suddenly her face twisted in shock and surprise, as if she just now realized who she was talking to. Miyune, is that you? Where have you been all this time? It's been 7 months since you... Suddenly Mew heard footsteps approaching down the dirt path. Annie had too, apparently, judging by the terror in her eyes. It's her! Mew, run! A pit opened in Mew's stomach. Who's coming? Annie retreated into the bush, leaving only her eyes to stare at Mew. The terror in them was enough to kick in Mew's flight instinct. Her body, almost entirely without input, sprang onto its feet and sprinted into the direction opposite of the approaching footsteps. By the time Mew regained enough control of herself to stop, she was in a completely different part of the forest. Clutching her knees and gasping for air, Mew looked around. That had been more than strange. Mew's uneasiness hadn't subsided, and she needed to talk with someone, even just to quell the fear encroaching her heart. Looking around, Mew tried to find one of her friends. Someone was bound to hide out somewhere around here. Suddenly, a quiet chitter rang out behind her, and Mew turned around to find nothing. Mew tried to figure out where the sound had come from. She looked left, right, stared at the ground, and suddenly looked up. In the branches of a nearby tree, a certain pink-haired imp was sitting, smugly looking down on her. Timothy was next to her, letting out another chittering noise. My, who do we have here? Camilla asked, jumping to the ground in a single graceful movement. Hey, Camilla, Mew said, still a little shaken up. Mew, what's the matter? You seem a little nervous. Camilla adopted a slight look of concern, stepping closer. Well, I think I saw Annie in the forest just now, and she looked like she was afraid of something, and then someone came when I ran, and... Mew was tripping over her own words from the speed she was trying to talk at. Mew, are you okay? You're not making any sense. Annie is sleeping at home, remember? Camilla tried to calm her down, but the events kept replaying in Mew's head, making her only freak out more. She could be in danger. We have to go help her, please, Mew pleaded. Camilla sighed. Fine, she relented. But if we get caught because of this, I won't forgive you. Then she followed Mew down the dirt path. After a while, they arrived back at the bush. Mew was walking extremely carefully, looking left and right, as if she was expecting a predator to jump out at any moment. Camilla, on the other hand, had a relaxed stance, leaning back with her hands behind her head. So, where is Annie? She asked. Mew approached the bush she had found Annie in. She carefully parted the branches, revealing absolutely nothing. There wasn't even a trace that anyone had ever been there. A few seconds of silence passed as Mew stared at the bush before Camilla coughed awkwardly. So, what were you trying to show me? I don't understand. I know she was right here a moment ago. Mew, are you sure you're alright? Did you hit your head or something? Camilla moved in front of Mew, looking her in the eyes. Mew knew that she hadn't been dreaming. The thing a minute ago had really happened, right? Come on, let's get out of here. Camilla pulled Mew along, back to where they came from. Mew didn't resist, far too confused about the current events. The rest of the day continued without incident, but no matter how hard she tried, the memory of her encounter stayed always in the back of her head. Surely it was just a hallucination caused by her lack of sleep, but it had felt so real. She snapped out of her thoughts when suddenly Neuro exclaimed, "Thank you all so much for coming today. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too." Several exhausted but excited cheers answered her, as Miu realized that it was evening already. They all started trekking home, chatting with each other. "Hey Miu, how are you doing?" Fillion had started walking next to her, looking over with a look of lightly concealed concern. "Yeah, I'm fine." "Why do you ask?" Miu answered hesitantly. "Because I'm asking T's nuts." Fillion giggled. "Seriously though, something seems off about you today. Usually you're always so cheerful. What's got you down in the dumps so much?" "It's nothing." If Camilla didn't believe her, neither would Fillion, and Miu didn't want two of her friends worrying about her losing her marbles. Fillion didn't look convinced, but relented. "Okay, if you say so. Just remember that you can always talk to us if something's bothering you. We are your friends, aren't we?" Miu nodded, and Fillion ran ahead. Coming out of the forest, Miu spotted a familiar platinum-haired fox girl. Hearing the group approaching, Annie turned location, home street. Annie and Vedal standing in front of Neuro's house. Neuro runs out of the trees of the park, hugging Annie. Neuro: "Annie, I'm so happy you're up. Heart, heart, heart." Annie: "I'm so happy to see you, Neuro." Camilla, Fillion, Nimune, Snuffy, Miune, and Zentrea enter from the park. Fillion: "Hi, Annie. Good to see you made it here all the way from Japan in one piece." Annie: "Yeah, I was a bit scared about making such a drastic change to my life, but now that I'm here, I can confidently say that it was all worth it." Camilla: "Well, well, well. Look who decided to crawl out of their room." Vedal: "Yeah, sorry. I'm just so busy all the time, you know? There are so many projects I need to attend to." Neuro: "It's okay, Vedal. I forgive you. I love you. Heart." Vedal: "I love you too, Neuro." Miune: "It's nice to finally meet you face to face, Annie. It's good to know that Neuro finally has a parent she can depend on when Vedal is busy." Camilla: "Which is all the time." Annie: "Yeah, well, I'll try my best. I may not have any real experience being a parent, but I'm willing to learn." Neuro: "Well, I think this is where we should part ways for today. I will see you all around." Snuffy, Zentrea, Nimune, and Fillion off. Camilla: "Well, I'll see you guys around." Camilla off. Vedal: "Well, I suppose it's time for me to get back to work now. Have a good night, Miu." Miune: "You too, Vedal." Vedal off. Miune: "Good night, Nero. I love you." Nero: "I love you too. Heart." Miune off. Miune stopped walking as she was halfway down the street, looking around in confusion. What had just happened? She remembered having a conversation with Nero and Annie? Why didn't she ask about what happened in the woods earlier, even just to get proof that she was hallucinating? Why had she instead acted as if the incident earlier hadn't happened? She clutched her head in confusion, trying to make sense of everything, when suddenly her phone rang. Pulling her smartphone out, Miu could see words appear on the screen. "You're being lied to. Wake up." Huh? Miune stared at her smartphone in confusion. What is that supposed to mean? The text changed. "Look at the sky." Miune looked at the night sky. At first, everything seemed normal, with the stars glowing around the full moon like thousands of small candles. Then they flickered, and then the entire sky went dark. Error quote not found.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. Dang. Okay. Let me.
The whole format shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was highly effective.
Here's a reason to be streaming the screen and not just reading it out loud. This.
Yeah.
That was chapter 4 of 14.
Incredible.
Let's see.
I. Yeah. Oh, that's a very great start. I might have to read it at work.
Don't worry, it's not too long, so you'll probably finish it. Probably be able to read it. I mean, we already read 4 chapters.
68 comments. Wow, nice.
Ooh.
And only 78 kudos? What the flip?
Yeah. Well, remember that
That's a really weird comment to kudo ratio.
Remember that back then there weren't as many people writing or reading. So when you take the hit count and divide it by 14 for the chapter count. Yeah. I left a comment here April 22nd, 2024. That was right before the thread was made. Hey, look at these old faces.
Wow.
Anonymous fan base. D double. It's the D double. In the comments of Perfect Paradise. The hot water phobia.
Oh my gosh.
And Dark Dragon 226, who is on this server but has never spoken here. Has been an active AO3 commenter since way back when, and I specifically invited here, but they just never actually talked here. They stay in the AO3 comments. Yeah, it was fun. I'm enjoying reading this again, actually.
Yeah, that's fun.
You know how I had like those emotional like overreactions to your writing, Iron Hand?
Yeah,
This is the one other story that kind of compared.
I guess that.
Compared for me in terms of that respect, especially if you look at the comments on the chapters. If you look at what the stuff I said, but it's just
panic.
Yeah, me. It's like lots of caps lock and whatever. Now, see, it's fun to enjoy.
That first note, looking back at it, I'm like, okay, that does set the tone effectively for the reveal last chapter, man.
Oh, you mean how last chapter set the tone for this chapter?
The very first chapter about Neuro's quote about being dissettled by Annie dying one day.
Yeah.
Like, that, great setup, wow.
Yeah. That was a recent quote at the time that it was written. I think it might have been part of the inspiration for the story.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
It was
This poor guest is freaking out, that's funny.
It was a conversation between Neuro and Annie while Vedal was working on programming something. And Annie was just there to talk to Neuro for a while. Yeah. Error quote not found. Yes, it's very cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah, this is one of those stories where it's like, I don't care that it has a lot of flaws. I just really enjoy what it does well.
The premise is so solid that you just don't really. It's not enough to care.
The premise and the execution in other areas. Like, there's a real kind of tension while reading things that seem like they're just having fun playing hide and seek or something. But there's a real tension the whole time.
Like, what's happening? Yeah.
Oppressive atmosphere amongst something that's just fun and chill. I really like that. I think that was the most impressive part of the story to me that Ask and I managed to pull off. And I think the pacing is actually very good. It didn't dwell that long on just playing tag and whatever, but it did spend time on that and only slowly dropped hints of what there's something else going on that have been like escalating. So
yeah, I'm excited to see more. Maybe I'll read it on my own. Maybe I'll wait till we read next time.
Yeah,
but either way, I'm like, this is good stuff.
I might do another read along of it. To be honest, I might even just, I don't know, like middle of the week go, hey, at read along, I feel like reading Perfect Paradise. Who wants to join me? And then people can join. Because anyone can do that. You don't have to wait.
That's fun.
None of you have to wait until I organize some quote unquote server official thing. Like anybody can ping the role anytime they want to do a reading or something.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that was fun. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I didn't expect anything. I thought maybe like 1 or 2 people would show up. But we got to read 3 different things,
Yeah.
and several people showed up. So I might try doing a Sunday
Yeah,
afternoon
it's a
again,
good time.
maybe.
I still prefer Saturday morning,
Most
but
people do.
you can if you want.
I'm still
Maybe
going to
not.
do Saturday morning. That is the best time, like
Sweet,
objectively
okay.
for the most people.
Yeah, that would be great. It's 4:47 a.m. I am dozing off.
You're here during that time of day? You stayed up all night for this?
Yeah, I really looking forward to this Readalong. I want to show off my stuff.
Oh, okay.
I stay up a little late.
I mean, you could leave after you were done yours too. Thanks for joining and
But-
hanging out.
It's fun. You're very fun.
It is fun. This is a unique way of like enjoying the stuff that we in the community make together.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I have to go. I don't think I can stay up
Yeah.
much longer.
Okay. You
Good night,
Okay.
guys.
So good. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah, I want to read my main fic, but I want to read it when there's time and people are here.
Makes sense, yeah. Alas, understandable.
But I'm happy to read this.
Well, it was nice hanging out.
Yeah, nice hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it was great. Bye-bye.
Bye.